Yo, what is up, guys? James Carter TV, and finally I'm here to talk about the 2014-15 NFL season. That's right, the NFL season 2014 is just around the corner. We are almost there, and I promised you preview videos, and here I am with the preview videos I have promised. Now, first though, and I'm going to be stressing this in each and every one of my preview videos. If you are familiar with this channel, you know that I like to make weekly picks. And also, if you're familiar with the comment section, a lot of you like to bash me for these picks. So this year, we're going to put it to rest. I am challenging you, or my fans and my haters. Let's go at it. Let's go and let's see who can really pick these games. I've made a pigskin pick'em group on ESPN.com, and for each and every one of these preview videos, that link will be in the description box to that group. So you really think you can pick better than me? Let's show it. Let's pick these games and let's find out for sure. This will be locked down at the beginning of the first game. It will be locked down September 4th, locked down. So join now before you forget, because September 4th rolls around, no more. So do it now. Let's see who can really pick games this season. Again, the link will be down in the description box, as well as the password, because you do need a password to join. I don't want random idiots joining. So now that that's been out of the way, top 10 quarterbacks. Now I need to define what I'm talking about here. I need to be very clear, because if I'm not very clear and I don't articulate this well, this is not going to go over well. So when I'm ranking quarterbacks, okay, I know people like Ron Jaworski, you know, they do their thing. When I'm ranking quarterbacks, I like to do it this way. It's very simple. If I were to take this quarterback, let's say I'm comparing two quarterbacks. If I were to take this quarterback and put him on this guy's team, would he win more games? It's just that simple. If I were to take this quarterback, put him on this team, would he win more games? That's my logic here. So I rank him in that way. Also, I kind of project just a tad bit. I'll do that more when it comes to running backs and wide receivers. But the main thing here with quarterbacks, if I put this guy on this person's team, would he win more games? That's the thing I need to stress here. So, anyway, let's start with number 10. Let me first start with an honorable mention, and I have to debate him against number 10 because I know, in fact, two honorable mentions, because two honorable mentions that are not on this list, I need to defend myself, and I'm ready to do such. My number 10 is Colin Kaepernick. Okay, now, who's not on this list? Let me tell you right now, Andrew Luck is not on this list, Cam Newton is not on this list, Jay Cutler is not on this list, and I think Eli Manning, and Joe Flacco, those are the only people anyone would argue with me here. The only one I could even see anyone even having an argument against me would be Joe Flacco. But that's if you believe last year was a complete bust. But I look at last year and I just can't let that go. He was too bad. Yes, his offensive line had troubles. Yes, he had a terrible receiving core, but it can't be that bad. You know, so I gotta hold Joe Flacco to that. And they were in close games. They would lose 13-10. The defense was good. So I mean, I can't give Joe Flacco too much credit there. So Joe Flacco, get him out of here. Andrew Luck, very valuable to his team. Is he more valuable than Colin Kaepernick? If you were to put Andrew Luck on the 49ers, would he win more games? If you were to put Colin Kaepernick on the Colts, would they win less games? I don't think you can make either one of those arguments. If you can, please go ahead, do it in the comment section. And same goes for Cam Newton. Cam Newton had a great defense. Now, if Cam Newton would have a great receiving core, and I can see him with that, and then maybe he'll blow up, he'll have 100 passer rating, and he'll be great, and he'll be fantastic, and it'll just be wonderful, but I still don't think he's that great. I'm sorry. I can't buy into Cam Newton being a top 10 quarterback. Can't buy it. Don't see it. He had a playoff game to show, and he didn't. The one game, two games, he showed it. Against the New Orleans Saints, where the defense did everything. And against the 49ers, where he failed, he showed it against the New England Patriots, who we all know were not that good. The Patriots is the worst the Patriots have been, and yet they somehow still went 12-4. Unbelievable to me. So, Cam, I don't buy into Cam Newton being a top 10. I love to have him on my team. Top 10? No. Give me Colin Kaepernick, who does his job in that Jim Harbaugh system. If you do your job in your system, and that will be the same for Russell Wilson, who I will get into later. If you're doing your job in your system, Colin Kaepernick doesn't do much wrong now. I mean, there's a reason why Ron Jaworski said he could be one of the top quarterbacks in NFL history, and I'm not going to go that far, but he could be. He doesn't do much wrong right now. Yeah, he could play better in the pocket, but nitpicking. I mean, he doesn't do much wrong right now. So, I gotta move this. I keep looking that way. So, Colin Kaepernick, number 10. Number 9 for me, Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, Ben Roethlisberger is someone that has to do with a lot of BS. And I gotta hold him to that, man. This guy has to hold with a lot of BS. And like I just said, Joe Flacco had to hold with a lot of BS. Right? Joe Flacco, he had a terrible offensive line, poor receiving core, he had a good defense. Ben Roethlisberger didn't have a good defense. He had a terrible offensive line. They've been terrible for years. Ben Roethlisberger keeps getting beat up almost each and every play, getting sacked each and every play, getting hit every play. I mean, they've had a freaking ring around the rosy revolving door at center and guard for the past 2 years. It's absolutely preposterous. Gotta give Ben Roethlisberger credit for that. Heath Miller was out for an extended amount of time last year, and he never really looked to be the Heath Miller of old. So he had one weapon, and maybe two in Emmanuel Sanders, who's inconsistent. There's a reason why he'll be the 4th receiver in Denver. You look at Ben Roethlisberger. He does a lot of things well. There's a reason why he won 2 Super Bowls. There's a reason why I'm pretty sure by when it's all said and done, he might have another one, because he does his job so well. He has so many moves to his arsenal. He's still a top quarterback. You put him on the 49ers, dude, they would have won the Super Bowl. And you want to bet me on that? You want to debate that with me? If you were to put Ben Roethlisberger on the San Francisco 49ers, do they win the Super Bowl? Yeah, they win the Super Bowl. They beat the Seattle Seahawks, and they win that Super Bowl. 100%. Debate me on that, please. So, anyway, we move on to number 8, Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan is someone I had to defend here because people love to hit on Matt Ryan, and, justly so. The Falcons stunk last year, but, hey, remember, not only was Julio Jones injured, Roddy White missed a couple games. There was a couple games where Harry Douglas was getting over 100 yards. He was the number 1 weapon, and he got over 100 yards. That has nothing to do with Harry Douglas' skill. That has everything to do with Matt Ryan. He had a terrible offensive line. He had an inconsistent and pretty much bad receiving core, minus Julio Jones, and then sometimes minus Roddy White, a aging, what's his name? I already forgot his name. That's how, retired he is now. Tony Gonzalez. He had a retired Tony Gonzalez. Bad defense, bad offensive line. Literally nothing. Aging running back. Nothing went right for Matt Ryan and the Falcons last year. He was the only solace there. So let's remember that, please. I had him in my top 5 last year. I had to put him down. But guys, this guy had a bad defense, bad offensive line, bad running back, one very good wide receiver in Roddy White, and no one else. Let's give this guy some props. You put him on the Steelers, they win more games. You put him on the 49ers, they win more games. And maybe one more game because the 49ers were already great. But let's give some credit to Matt Ryan. He had to do with a lot of junk, and he still wasn't that bad. So expect the Falcons to bounce back offensively. I don't know about defensively, but they'll bounce back offensively. And Matt Ryan will be back in the discussion of top 5 next year. I guarantee you that. Number 7, I gotta do this, man. People have been discussing this guy being a top 10 quarterback for years. And now I really have to come to the table and put my guns up for this, because I know the hits coming for this one. Number 7 is Tony Romo. Now, Tony Romo is the victim of a lot of hate, and I've understood it until this point. Last year, it was absolutely ridiculous how much Tony Romo had to do to even get close to winning games. First of all, Tony Romo went 8-7 last year. He missed the last game of the regular season. So he went 8-7. Okay? So, not bad, right? He could have won that last game. We'll never know. So, 3 of those 7 losses, he put his team in the best position possible, pretty much, to win the game. He put up 48 points and lost to the Denver Broncos. That's one. He put up 30 points and lost in the last seconds to Detroit. They should have won that freaking game, dog. And they lost 37-36. He put up 36. He had 2 interceptions, so you might want to hold that against him, but he still put up 36 points against the Green Bay Packers and lost. Those are 3 games where he did almost as much as he could do to make his team, to put his team in a position to win games, and yet no games were won. I'm not gonna hold Tony Romo for that. I'm not. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you will. I know a lot of you Cowboy haters. I know a lot of you Cowboys fans will, but I'm not gonna do it. This guy put up what, a 96.7 QBR. I can't do it. Worst defense in the league. His offensive line's good. His running back's good. So he has a good offense around him. But the defense just screws him over. And I'm not going to hurt him for that like a lot of you will. I'm not. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Tony Romo is number 7 on this list. Number 6 is the Super Bowl champion Russell Wilson. Now, I can understand where a lot of the skepticism of Russell Wilson comes from, because I'm usually a skeptic. But I thought about it from this angle. What has Russell Wilson not done that you would want him to do? I mean, what has he not done that has been asked of him? Nothing. He does everything that's asked of him. He does exactly 100% what he's supposed to do in that system. So I can't say, well, he's not that good. Well, we don't know. He does exactly what he's supposed to do in that system. It's a well-oiled machine. He doesn't turn the ball over. He plays smart football. He runs when he has to. He gets touchdowns. Great touchdown interception ratio. I mean, what more can we ask of this guy? And put up 30 touchdowns. You don't need to. If you don't need to, and when he does need to, when he needs to come back, when he needed to come back against the Houston Texans, when he needs to come back against, what was that team where they had a great comeback? I'm trying to think last year. They had a great comeback. He needed to bring it back, and he did. Maybe it was the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not quite sure who it was exactly. And he doesn't have that great talent around him, though. Offensive line is pretty good. I think it's overrated what it was. Now it's a little worse. They lost their right tackle. The receiving corps stinks. And that's just the fact of the matter, is that please don't tell me about Percy Harvin. He played a regular season game last year where we caught 1 ball, and he played the Super Bowl. So don't tell me about Percy Harvin. He had Golden Tate. He had Doug Baldwin. He had Jermaine Kearse. So nothing at receiver. And an old average. This is an average tight end in Zach Miller. So don't tell me Zach Miller. No, that's an average tight end. There are 15 tight ends I can name that I would take over Zach Miller. Average. So, very poor receiving core, and yet he still does what he needs to do. Now, this is when I'm having predictions. I'm going to keep quiet about the Seahawks right now, but you might not like what I have for the Seahawks, and I'm going to get a lot of trepidation for that. But we'll get into that another day. So, Russell Wilson, number 6, though. I know a lot of people are going to argue me this, but just tell me, what hasn't he done that you would have wanted him to do thus far in his career? Please tell me, because I can't think of anything. He's done everything that's been asked of him thus far. That's it. Okay. And he won a Super Bowl, for God's sake. So that has to count for something. Number 5, last year of all. Number 5, Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers had an absolutely phenomenal year last year, and that cannot be ignored. And yet it will be ignored by many of you. I really don't know why. It was outstanding, and he still didn't have much. He has King Dunlap as his right tackle, who's actually had kind of a career revitalization, because his career was dead in the water in Philadelphia. Now he's actually doing something out there at left tackle. His wide receivers, they're good. I mean, Keenan Allen, he's a potential superstar. So 1,000 yards in his rookie season, that's not like a superstar to me. You know, people aren't talking about him. People love talking about, hey, Michael Floyd. Why Michael Floyd? Look at this kid. He got 1,000 yards his rookie season. Wow. Malcolm Floyd, geez, get him out of here. Vincent Brown, they don't do anything. Keenan Allen does something. He has 2 good tight ends in Ladarius Green, who didn't do much last year. He'll do stuff this year. got what, 400 yards last year? Not much. Antonio Gates, who's aging. Now this guy is going to be out of the league in 1 to 2 years. Maybe next year. Next year he may be out of the league. Don't be surprised. I'll give him 2, but he'll be out of the league very soon. So he doesn't have absolutely, much to him. And yet still he played absolutely phenomenal. Got his team back in the playoffs. That deserves a lot of props from me. I knew he could do it. He did in the past. I don't know what happened with Norv Turner. He's gone now. It doesn't matter. Philip Rivers did his job, so I gotta give him props. Number 5. Number 4 is Tom Brady. Now Brady, we want to talk about people that did stuff with terrible talent. Look no further than Tom Brady. This guy took Aaron Dobson, Kimbrel Tompkins. Like, look at these names. They sound like something out of Madden, like regenerated class. Jeez. Danny Amendola, who's injured all the time. And inconsistent Gronkowski. How much games did he play? 3? I mean, Tom Brady took absolutely nothing to the AFC Championships, and 7 points away from tying it, 8 points away from winning it, with nothing. Wow, Tom Brady. Now the 25-11 ratio is a good one. I mean, plenty of quarterbacks would love to have that. It's not good enough to beat the top 3. I give a lot of props to Brady for what he did. I just can't justify putting him over one of these top 3. And who are those? Let's get into it. Number 3, Drew Brees. I mean, this guy still puts up the numbers, but man, this is getting too far into this. We're not really, being ISO-centric, but geez, Drew Brees needed to show up twice this year, and it was in Seattle both times, and he didn't. But that's a small thing, and that's why I can't put him over the top, because I was considering it, but man, Drew Brees, where were you, man? I mean, I know it's Seattle, I know it's tough to play, but I expected Drew Brees this year, of all years, for the first time in his career, Drew Brees had a very good defense. You look at that defense, you say, wow, that's a good defense. What, 4th-ranked defense? They kept the game close against Seattle in the playoffs. Drew Brees, where were you? Where were you, Drew Brees? And he has talent. I talk about a lot of these guys on this list, not having talent. He has talent. He has Kenny Stills, Marcus Colston, Darren Sproles running around doing those stupid things he does. He has talent, and yet he still did nothing. So yeah, I have to hold him accountable for that. And that's why he's not going to be number 2 or number 1. Let's get into number 2. I have to defend this. I have to. Because people are going to come at me hard. Because, hello, this guy was godly. Well, I don't care. Number 2 is Peyton Manning. Yes, he had the all-time great quarterback season. I'll admit it. All-time great quarterback season. Not going to hear any debate from here, but number 1 is just better to me. And you already know where I'm going with this. It's not much to talk about Peyton Manning, so let's just go to number 1. Number 1 is Aaron Rodgers. Now, it's been talked about Rodgers versus Manning, so you should already know the difference between these two, but I'll go into it anyway. The thing that I just love about Aaron Rodgers more than Peyton Manning, and it's small, but when we're talking about 2 godlike men, small things make all the difference, don't they? The ability to get out of the pocket, to move in the pocket, to be more elusive in the pocket. Peyton Manning's offense is so literally designed for nothing but success around him. And no one's figured it out yet, but someone will soon. And Peyton Manning, it's been talked about, this guy throws ducks now. You see these balls wobbling? Seahawks took advantage of that, man. And I don't know if they figured it out. Maybe some more teams are going to figure it out this year, but Peyton Manning, I'm not caught up in this Peyton Manning juice. You even look at the playoffs. I tried to tell you people, by the way. I tried to tell you, no one wanted to listen to me. Look at the playoffs. When you look at the playoffs, okay, the first round they had was against the San Diego Chargers. They won, 24-17? I said from there, that's it? 24-17? That's all you could do? People try to tell me, well, they played efficient football. No, do more. You're great. Do more then. The Patriots score, I can't remember what it was. I think it was by 7 points again, though. I was like, okay, where are you? Come on, do more. Seahawks get blown out of the building. There's something just there that they beat up on the bad teams, But man, I don't know what it is. And San Diego's figured it out. I think the Patriots figured it out. The Seahawks definitely figured it out. Something there that's inconsistent about that offense sometimes, and inconsistent at the worst times. And I can't put my finger on it, but Aaron Rodgers is absolutely phenomenal. He's great. And even in his first game back, he does a play that is just so phenomenal and what fantastic to propel his team into the playoffs. He's great. He is fantastic. He's number one. And if you try to tell me anything else, I won't believe you. He is great. I mean, he's fantastic. So, anyway, top 10. We're at 20 minutes now, so I think that's enough. Top 10 quarterbacks for the 2014-15 NFL season. What's yours? Comment down below because I want to know. Not really, but still. I know there's going to be a lot of hate for me for this, but hey, that's what I'm here for. James Carter TV. Again, join the Picks League. It'll be up there until the first game of the regular season. So until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.